Hi there. So today's topic is a follow-on from the previous video that I did, which was all about making love compared to having sex. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty today. So today's topic's all about making love for men, men's business. Before we go there though, just something to ponder on today is to ask ourselves, am I a giver or am I more of a receiver, or am I in the middle? Am I balanced in the middle? And the way to know that is for us just to look at our friends, those people who are really important to our life. Might be family members or friends or people that we really value, and just ask ourselves, when we hang out with them, do we feel uplifted? Do we feel it's been an even exchange of energy between the two of us? Or do we feel that we're always doing all the heavy lifting as far as supporting and looking after other people? Something to contemplate. So, men's business. Let's get straight to the point. So, discussing men's sexual energy, which in traditional cultures is synonymous with the element of fire. So as men, when we get aroused, we get excited by life, that's the same energy as our sexual energy. It's the creative energy of life. And of course it starts right down at the base of our spine, where our hormones, our gonads, generate the energy to create life. And of course that gets awakened, the volcano, we call it, the volcano of life, the fire energy that erupts from deep inside our core, wants to express, it wants to create. Now, if we're wanting to have children, that energy is going to generate and it's going to go out of our body, and we're going to emit sperm, and of course that's going to create new life. But what if we don't want to do that? What if we don't want to have children? The indigenous cultures and the ancient cultures realized that that's an incredibly powerful energy of life. So if we release that energy too often, we actually experience what's known as a little death. And that's why for us guys, when we're having a sexual experience, the release that seems to be inevitable when we have an orgasmic experience makes us feel incredibly relaxed, but we're actually giving up a huge amount of energy. And when we're young and we've got a full battery of energy, that doesn't seem to bother us too much. So we can get sexually active and release and have orgasms quite frequently, and it's just a great way to release tension. But as we start to age, the body starts saying, hang on, the battery doesn't have that amount of excess energy anymore. And so gradually and slowly the body starts becoming less fulfilled by sex. So the traditional cultures realized this, and in their wisdom, what they started to realize was that we were able to have sex and make love, and we could actually experience the arousal of that volcanic energy, but instead of using it to conceive a child or wasting it, we could actually harness that energy and draw it through our body, circulate it around, to the point that we could actually no longer, at a point of orgasm, emit semen. So the sperm wasn't going to be released out of the body. So they learnt to be able to redirect that energy so we could still make love, still have beautiful, long-lasting, profound sexual love, but we didn't actually have to ejaculate. That's a pretty amazing thing when I say that to a lot of guys. They go, what are you talking about? How do you have an orgasm without ejaculating? Well, you actually can. And I've been practicing this, and the traditional cultures talked about that. When we're younger, we learn about this, but as we practice the art of drawing that energy as our sexual temperature rises to a point where if we hit volcanic eruption at 100%, then we're going to release. It's out of control and it's going to explode like a volcano will erupt. But with practice, gradually, slowly, we learn to be able to let the body be aroused, and it's going to happen, we get aroused, to be able to contract our pelvic floor muscles, to literally squeeze our bum muscles tight and draw that energy in. Take a big breath and imagine that our spine, our spinal cord, is our spiritual cord. So we're going to draw that energy to create at a different level now. So we literally draw it up through our spine as we contract those pelvic floor muscles, the perineal muscles, and suck it up. Imagine like a straw, sucking it up. So when we're making love with our partner, the power of our sexual energy, we get control of it instead of it being in control of us. And so by practicing, by slowing down, sucking the energy up, breathing, might be 2, 3, 4, 5 breaths, just drawing that energy up and visualizing it as we go. We're drawing that energy up through the other chakras, the energy centers, and we take it right up to the head. And at that point, with continual practice, we can then we can allow that energy to expand into our heavenly state. Oh, the cookers have come to say hello. So we can allow it to go into that heavenly state where it's very blissful, very beautiful. It's like we're expanding and opening the heavenly gates. And we can actually make our brain expand inside as we draw that energy in. And then what we begin to do is, still while we're making love, we practice it first on our own as an internal meditation called the microcosmic orbit. But then when we're actually actively making love, having sexual love with our partner, we can practice this so that we're drawing the energy up and then we're allowing it to come back down. We're bringing heaven back down to earth. And so we allow ourselves to relax. So that has a twofold benefit. Not only does it nourish our own body, and it restores our life force and opens our channels so that we can continue to extend the lovemaking. So instead of it being all over and done with in a normal, usual fashion in 2 minutes because we've ejaculated, we've actually grabbed that energy and harnessed it, and we've circulated it through these main channels, the upward rising and the downward rising channels. And when we do that, we're then able to start again. We can allow the volcano to rise again. So when we're making love with our partner, we can have extended periods of lovemaking to the point where we're able to steam that energy up, as I've discussed in previous times. We're harmonizing with our partner, and we can make love for an hour, longer, 2 hours, 3 hours. And it becomes incredibly blissful because what we're experiencing is smaller but much more frequent orgasmic experiences. So we're not ejaculating, but we're having orgasms, and we become what's known as multi-orgasmic. It's a profound, beautiful experience. And once we harness that and get to know what that's like, you won't want to go back to just the old-fashioned 2-minute pump and dump and then slump. So this is something that I'm happy to discuss with people. I'm just giving you the nuts and bolts of what it's about. You can look up a guy online who's been discussing this for many years. His name's Mantak Chia, Mantak Chia. He's an old man now, but he discusses, and he's got books as well. But I've studied this program since I was in my 30s. So I've been practicing these bedroom arts, the Taoist cultivation arts, for 30 years, and I can tell you it makes a huge difference to how you feel after you've made love with your partner. You get up the next hour or the next morning or whatever, and you feel recharged and ready to go. And it's harnessing the power of our masculine energy to create at a different level, a more expanded level where there's more love and there's more peace, and we become stronger, we become more resilient, and we can face the battles of life with a happy heart and a playful heart. What more could we want? So that's all for now. I'm wishing you lots of enjoyment and fulfillment as you go on the journey of awakening to your true potential as a spiritual being, harnessing this life force, this volcano of fire energy inside of you to create new things, beautiful things. And then of course when our time comes, we carry that energy with us into the next realm, onto eternity. Many blessings.